what she said. She's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.
Welcome back to What She Said on 105.9 The Region. I'm Kate Wheeler, and I'm here with Christine Bentley. In 2007, Canada became the first country in the Western world where women outnumber men in the workforce. Yet 40% of companies in Canada don't have women holding executive roles. According to last year's Diversity Disclosure Practices report, Marriott International is turning that number on its head with a 40% female Canadian leadership team. And joining us now is Laura Pallotta, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Marriott Hotels of Canada. Welcome to What She Said, and we want to give you a round of applause.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So you're here today to give us timely tips on what companies can do to help Canadian women succeed in the workplace. But first of all, why don't we start off by talking about your personal experience, as a woman in a leadership role?
Thank you so much. Well, I started my career about 25 years ago in hospitality, started up in catering, came out of university and decided, what am I going to do with my life? And you might remember the TV program Hotel. Mm-hmm. So Connie Selica.
Yes.
And I thought, that's what I want to do. That sounds like looks like a cool job with
Right.
James Brolin.
Anything with James Brolin looks pretty cool.
So I finished my university degree, went to George Brown College and did some hospitality work and then just jumped in. But it's an amazing industry for people, and particularly for women, because there's there's a variety of roles and ways that you can climb and build your career. So very exciting.
So was this a conscious decision by Marriott to have that many women or to make them prominent? And what steps did they take to ensure equality in Canada?
Well, first of all, having women in leader roles is a strategic priority for the organization globally. It's important that we recognize that we needed more women in senior leader roles and in general manager positions and leaders at all levels of the organization. In fact, our global CEO Arnie Sorensen, 4 of his 10 direct reports are women, and they are smart women, strategic thinkers that are leading finance and the legal aspects and sales and marketing. So that has also occurred in Canada, where I think you mentioned 40% of our leadership team are women. So it's really a strategic priority. It's a good business decision to make women leadership roles and put them in place. So we've put a lot of plans and actions against that to set women up to be considering those types of roles.
Well, okay, let's go through them, because the Emerging Leader Program,
Right.
that was created in 2013. So tell us about that.
So really important part of our plan. Emerging Leaders is where we identify associates and a whole cross-functional variety of disciplines who we believe would be great or ready for the next step in their career. And so when people who are working in catering and events who want to be the director of events, or folks that are working in operations who want to be general managers. And strategically, we've made sure that as we've selected those associates, that at least 50% of that slate each year are women, so that we can, grow them up within the organization. We do things throughout the year where there's cross-functional training. They obtain they're paired with a mentor, so that can help, dispel sort of questions that they might have or concerns. They're really following their career along, and also really sponsoring them in their next roles. So it's a really great program, and I think the numbers are like 80% of the people that go through our ELP program, Emerging Leaders Program, actually move into their next leadership role. So it's very exciting.
You also have a hotel ownership commitment.
We do. So I was part of a really cool thing that we did last fall, where we brought together women owners of hotels from North America, and we brought them to Montreal, and we had a summit, and we talked about the fact that we really wanted to accomplish a few things. We wanted more women investors to consider hotels as a great investment, and to acquire more property and pick our brands or to run their hotels. And then we also talked about, with women owners, the need to develop more women general managers who are really the core operators of our hotels. And we put together a number of different initiatives through that summit that we took both in Canada, liaising with the Hotel Association of Canada, and also in the United States with their hotel association. And in fact, this past January at a huge Congress in LA, we actually put this whole conversation on the table. So it was really, really neat.
But some of the individual company programs are so stellar. They allow for the women's advancements personally and professionally. I mean, there are things like women's networking groups, which we might expect, but adoption assistance, fertility coverage. I mean, not to be sexist, but it would seem to me to take a woman to think of that in the first place, that this might be a hindrance to somebody's well-being and their future career.
Right. Well, we have to dispel either untruths that women can't do both, that can't be great senior leaders, but we also have to give them resources so that they can still be able to manage and have a family or care for elders, or things that are important to women, let's face it, because we want really well-rounded individuals that can be able to manage all of those things in their lives. We also know that women do make great leaders. We are able to manage a lot and work, so...
if you want something done, give it to a busy woman, right?
Well, absolutely. So I think that we're forward thinking. We're being smart about that. So, in some of our headquarters, we have daycare centers that are right within the facility, so that you can pop down and see your little one, and maybe grab a snack with them and still feel, because, as we know, to be a leader, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It takes a lot of time and commitment and travel and things like that. So whatever we can do to help with that balance, it's very important to our organization.
Well, as sort of a leader, a pioneer, if you will, in pushing for equality in the workplace, do you have some do's and don'ts for corporate Canada?
In terms of Canada, corporate identifying and putting that together, right? I think, as I said earlier, I think making it a strategic priority is important, and we need to. An organization needs to. So what they say is, if it's not measured, it's not managed. So take a look at your organization and how your makeup of your senior leadership team, just basics. What percentage of them are actually women? What are you doing as an organization to spot talent early in your, how can we identify those associates early on in their career? Because we have found that young women in the beginning will start out and have aspirations, but you need to catch them and make sure that you're working with them along the way. And that's some of those programs that we put in place about engagement and mentorship and things like that. And then I think we need men at that table discussing these issues and opportunities as well, because they need to be advocates just as much for our program. In Canada, our president, Don Cleary, he is the first one. He has brought forward these initiatives within our organization, and he gave us the green light to go for it, team, and that's why we did that event last fall.
I suppose, I'm all for women's equality, and goodness knows I have been most of my life, but I worry a little bit about the meritocracy. So, if somebody is being pushed specifically because they're a woman, I feel that that's wrong. So how do you find a balance in that?
Yeah, great question. I think, and I get this all the time, it starts with fundamentally with talent and in identifying core talent, ability. That's just table stakes. Right. We're not putting people in roles that shouldn't be there, that that don't have the ability to be leaders. So but there's a lot of great talent there. So it gives us the opportunity among our talent base to identify those folks who, are talented and also maybe happen to be a woman as well.
How do people who want to come and work for Marriott, how do they connect with you?
We'll certainly start with www.marriott.com. There's a great resource section on careers, and we've got information on it just to think about our organization, a little bit of information. We are 30 brands. We have 6,700 hotels internationally. So, travel is an amazing career, and Marriott is a really awesome company that just continues to grow and flourish. So I encourage them to start at the site and then reach out and be happy to talk. We're always looking for bright talent.
Laura Pilata, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, she said she's magical, mystical, or a powerful wonder girl.